Let me start this off. HI3 overview and banners. Global version. Okay, so Luna's here. Pericles and Brick returnee event. Flame Scion and Silverwing. It's already been a long time since these originally released. Firepower supply. Firepower supply, and then spending event. I just woke up from a nap, so if I feel like I'm sounding really tired, it's because I just woke up from a nap. The Team Bear Go. This is discounted to 1380 B chips from now until November 3rd. Mall deals. Ooh, there's some really affordable B chips. B chip bundles. And then Kiana Kaslana Elf. Back again. We had this at the beginning of the Siren banner as well, but this is quite good. Time capsule. Oh no, focus supply. Handle is the focus B. And then of course time capsule, a bunch of outfits. We're getting their rerun, and then there's a bunch that are now on discount. You can read about it all here in the news. The new version event, the Harvest Moon Farming Simulator 2023, Honkai Farming Simulator 2023, but it's not a cabbage ranch. I would have loved the cabbage farm, you know. Primarm Unleashed. So there's a ton of tutorials. Let's actually look at it in the events tab. So here's your spending event UI. Don't forget to do your 20 dorm pulls, and then you do your outfit trials. There's crystals for outfit trials. Here's the event shop. Make sure that if you're buying elf box fragments, you double check your math, because the box is singular, but the fragments that you get are in intervals of 2. You can cross-reference Marissa and Wyvern's charts about how much that you need for whatever you're looking for, and Equinox is the one. You notice they've been raising the cost on these cards? Or maybe it's just me that thinks that they're raising the cost. Because I remember one year they had it was only like 600 instead of 800. And maybe one year it was 700. Rank up stamps are nice. Some players will opt for Siren to rush this. I'm torn between Equinox to get her to S2 or use Silverwing rank ups, but Silverwing's gonna be in Battle Pass, so I can afford to be patient here. The S rank fragment box value has diminished greatly now that Dorm has reworked. Make sure you check your Dorm, see your buffs now. And then the remaining stuff, the priority is, like, for competitive players, of course, wait for Stabilizer. Everybody still needs Taurus for your weapon upgrades. Boosters for activity boosters. These let you skip doing stuff, which is, like, the value goes up the less time that you have. The optional materials box, not that great, and then Asterite, you should be swimming in it eventually, but maybe if you're early on, you know, Asterite could be useful. But Asterite is kind of like, you get Asterite to get rid of your leftovers. For most players, you know, like, if you're pure F2P, this is a great time to pick up an elf from spending on stuff that you're already going to spend on. Now, if you can afford to, you know, unlocking elf by gacha first and then using the spending event to get the 3-star rank up would be a good move. BKE was 600. Yeah, BKE was 600. I feel like some of the other stuff back in 2021 was like 600 as well. So yeah, they've been raising the price on that. Yeah, there's dailies involved, right? So we'll probably play some of this after we do our polls. You know, play the event, get this outfit for Dea Ancora. Don't forget to play all the tutorials. There's like a mini story here for the brick. Play the trial stage for Susanna. If you are on SCA, we looked at this earlier, and you can watch the live stream VODs on YouTube as well. But SCA has their anniversary rewards. You guys got that login bonus last week for the event stig. You got your 10 focus tickets, but then you also have a couple of time-gated charts, right, for additional rewards. You got your S-Rank selector. Global will probably have the S-Rank selector available through a different means at some point during this patch. Probably Sunday night or Monday, we'll probably see it go up. Make sure you play your tutorial for Lunar Vow. You get your Homu Proofs of Legend and your crystals. Same thing, you know, they bake the Priarm tutorial in there so you can get some SC medals. Time capsule. Hey, I only need these pistols. I'm gonna pick these up right now for the pumpkin hunters. So some of these retro outfits. Some of these outfits that were released in previous years, like this was earlier this year for the Spring Festival, right? Or was it last year's? Jade Knight's paid outfit. So a bunch of these are back in on discount. A bunch of these are also back in on discount. I think the Molotov Cherry and Blueberry Blitz, these were Battle Pass recolors that made it to Standard Shop. So if you like those, or you've been sitting on a bunch of standard tickets, could be cool. If you're a super collector, you know, a bunch of these year 1 anniversary stigmatas. Crimson B was actually somewhat like F2P meta for a while. So you know, if you're a May super fan, a May stan, this could be good for your collection. Bringer of Light was a really okay F2P set. It was like a G1.5. Really nice as a F2P placeholder. Nowadays it's like what, 20,000 Asterite, which is kind of expensive. So like, I would only really pick these up if you're really desperate for placeholder gear, or you just want it for collection, because you do get the fancy emblem once you complete the full set of Bringer of Light. I thought I was missing a bunch of these, but apparently I have these already. Oh, these actually came up on a recent time capsule as well, I think. So the rest of this stuff is placeholder. What you can do for these weapons, though, the thing that's nice about these old event weapon reruns is that they don't cost AE Imaginons to max, but they do cost phase shifters and the other stuff. And I think these cap out at like 45 sometimes. These might go all the way to 50. I remember Jack-O-Lantern went all the way to 50. Actually, did Jack-O-Lantern use AE Imaginons? It might. I don't remember. Someone can correct me in the comments. It's been a while since I used any of this stuff. I remember back in the end of 2019, I picked this up because I was like, oh yeah, this is a 5-star weapon. It's affordable. So I use this as a stat stick for my Terries for a long time. Don't forget to play the outfit trial stages. These are reruns, so there's no crystals for these, but there's still coins. You know, some of you captains are craving some coins. And then of course this. I don't know if you can still get the share crystals for the 20 crystals here. Click the share link for the 20 crystals, but I think so. But you know, you can give it a shot. And of course we'll get 300 Asterite automatically. Hey everybody, how's it going? Just came from Toki Pulls on YouTube. Yeah, how about that luck? Toki should be able to finish this 4th piece. Alright, banner review. Banner review. Well, you guys have heard me voice my opinions on why I think Luna's a good jumping on point for new players. She's a very stable bleed, lightning, and breach, right? Bleed damage, lightning damage, and breach, and as side type lightning. So it's like, you know, side type lightning historically has insanely good coverage. The A ranks sadly don't really do much for new players, even though Phantom Iron you can kind of use as like a starter support for lightning. Wolf's Dawn at double S is kind of useful. Back in the day, we used to use Blueberry Blitz for utility. And Miko, the OG Miko, you know, the predecessor to Yai Miko, the OG Miko. She was definitely that year one DPS. Some really good videos out there of year one Miko DPS. So, you know, as usual with the rank ups, S1, S2, double S, all really strong. Also, we should check the supply shop before we go further. Flame Scion stamps in the supply shop. Did they get rid of the elf? Oh no, the elf is Siren. Oh wow, Siren's in here now. So I would probably avoid rolling on the elf here or going for elf fragments here unless you know, are within like 50 to 70-ish fragments to get to quad to 4S or something. But yeah, so Flame Scion on Dea Ancora. Maybe if I buy some Dea Ancora stamps here, I could potentially get my Dea Ancora to triple S. But you guys can do the math for yourselves. Okay, focus supply. This is what we're gonna be rolling for. We went over this briefly on the Toki VOD for a lot of this stuff, but yeah. So like Echoes of Paradise was from last year. Falcon Flare was from the beginning of last year, wasn't it? Yeah, beginning of last year. Basilisk's Image is from 2021. So there's like a lot of like old stuff. Starlance is from 2020, right? Nocturnal Stealth from the end of last year. Rudder and Dream from the end of last year. They all have their utilities. Like Echoes of Paradise is still really nice to have on the account. Falcon Flare, not so much unless you really like Bronya. Basilisk's Image is great for Mobius, and you can kind of use it as a placeholder on Luna, but like not preferred, right? It's kind of like a last resort. You can use it to cope, but it's not ideal. Starlance for Dea Ancora. Stigmata. The Stigmata off rates here are okay, right? Zenyi's pretty good, even though it's old. Cezanne is still pretty good, even though it's getting old, but not quite that old. We're just about barely over a year on this one. Carlo Collodi for Vilvi. A little bit more niche, and then Elysia Pristine for Ice. But I remember at the time we were like, yeah, you could use G4 as a placeholder. G4, of course, for Elysia herself is a bit of a DPS loss, but if you didn't have Pristine, you know. So it's nice that they put Elysia Pristine here in the off rates. So for people who are missing one or two pieces, you might get that missing piece. Now don't try to roll on this banner just because this is in the pool. Handle. This is pretty old at this point. Handle's craftable, so if you're pulling in here, you're mainly looking for the pistols. Tower of the Pass, available in Firepower Supply. That's actually what we're gonna pick up from Firepower Supply. Final Form Destiny, this was given out for free, and it's mostly for HOS to support Equinox. I don't know if we're gonna see much use out of this nowadays. Sanguine Gaze for Nyx. Alaire Serenity. Oh, Alaire Serenity belongs in the garbage. Or in a museum. Key of Ego for Hersher of Human Ego Havers. And then Lost Conviction for Aponia. It's a bit mixed, right? Like, there's some pieces in here that are like, well, it's good if you have that character. And then there's some stuff like the Alaire Serenity that's just like, not good. It's just not good. Usual rules apply for weapon off rates, right? Like if it's your first copy, I would probably hang on to it. Stigmata. Handle's craftable, so chances are you're probably not going to be pulling here unless you really need Echoes of Paradise, but Echoes of Paradise is also, like, it's over a year old now. I would probably recommend most players just avoid this banner unless you can just brute force the banner. Bianca Theater is really strong for physical, but there's like a bunch of alternative physical gear that does exist in the Foundry. Raksha Shattered Swords, right? This is Locha. No, Raksha, it's not bad to have, but at this point, like, Raksha's kind of superseded by other stuff, like Hersher of Rebirth. But, you know, if you don't have Hersher of Rebirth, or maybe you have Hersher of Rebirth and you're missing Hersher of Rebirth gear, having a set of Raksha, you can kind of make do. Not entirely bad. Ragna. I actually really like Ragna now. Ragna's like a G 3.5 for fire, but the B piece has HP. The B piece heals. So running Ragna TB on like older fire DPS like Vermilion Knight and Blood Rose, you get a little bit more sustain because of their own HP loss mechanics. And then Blazing Legacy for Flame Scion. So that's kind of cool. There's 2 fire sets in here, but Blazing Legacy is definitely more specific for Flame Scion, with the B piece being the key activator. What else are we looking at? The brick. The brick is pretty good, but very nice 120 pull guarantee. But this pity will not carry forward. That's the only caveat. Key of Castigation, old meta, but we can still make something good out of old meta pieces like Key of Castigation, like our Darkbolt Jonin DOS run. That was pretty nice. Tower of the Pass, it's in Firepower Supply, and it's only really applicable if you have Vilvi. Infinite Intimidator, who's ready to get hit with the brick tonight. Elysian Astra is actually really good. Even though this is in the off rates, Elysian Astra is really good. Midnight Eclipse is one of the better off rates for Lance, and then Piranha. You know, we talk about Piranha being the more universal placeholder all around. But if you already have one, the value goes down, of course. What are the gears? Handle. We just went over handle. So craftable, value goes down because you probably already have a set. You probably already farmed it. Susan gear. Actually pretty good. You can get it in B standalone, TB. Well, you don't want to be standalone. You want to at least have top and bottom or 3 set. 3 set's really good. I-Chan. Some of y'all may be missing I-Chan gear. Toki was missing I-Chan gear. We managed to get at least 1 piece from the off rates. We got Project Bunny. And then In the Name of Origin, which is, I thought it was really weird. Like, if you get In the Name of Origin right in May pieces, it's a good placeholder for Lightning, but it's also like, I feel like this one is very rare to show up in off rates because this is a brand new one from the beginning of this year from version 6.5. So we might start seeing more of the trio gear trickling into different banner off rates here after. Time to brick an account. Hey. But yeah, I think this is a good banner. You know, we talked about it a little bit offhand in the last week or so, where like you could potentially just pull the brick and then just stop doing pulls. But Pericles is really nice. Pericles is also really nice if you don't have Rebirth, because the M piece does give you crit rate. But we did do some testing where, like, you know, if you had Siren Ascendant or some old meta Senti DPS gear, you could just keep using those. Assuming you had Rebirth to help buffer with the Rebirth buffs. But, like, you know, with the brick even works well if you didn't have Rebirth for the Impair. Kiana, back again! I am a little bit tempted to go for 4 stars after the big struggle of Symphony Kevin, Diablo Kevin. So we'll see. You know, if we have crystals left over, I might try to go for 4-star elf. And then we'll work out what we do from there. I'm worried that they'll release a new elf, like, in the springtime, though. Firepower Supply. Okay, so refresher for Firepower Supply. The biggest thing is you pick the 3. So they did buff the Firepower Supply. Originally, it was 5 and 5. which mean you had a bigger pool to choose from, which is actually bad from a targeting piece perspective. Because then it was harder to guarantee that you had the inventory. By making it 3 and 3, you can now pick. You have a less you can more easily target the one piece that you're looking for. All right, the one piece is real and it's in your hands. You can see here, so Vern is now craftable. I probably would avoid picking Vern if you don't have this. So with the Stigmata side, only go for a Stigmata if you're literally missing that one piece. Yeah, in the end, Cupcake, getting that 650 felt really good. Did I check the dorm yet? No, we're going down the line in order, Afri. Dorm is at the very bottom. This is firepower supply. So, for players that are missing 1s and 2s, like maybe if you have Turgenev top and mid and you don't have Turgenev bottom, like that would be a good way to pick the Turgenev bottom. Now, I would avoid picking any pieces from Stigmata that is already craftable. So like Shakespeare or Drift, I'm pretty sure is in Foundry now. You know, Vern's in Foundry. Mainly, this is a great opportunity to pick up a Divine Key for new accounts. So Twins of Eden and On Utu, who hardly get a banner, or maybe if you're a Durandal fan and you want to pick up that Abyss Flower, these are good opportunities for that. Maybe there's a weapon for one of your favorite characters that you're missing. It's a good opportunity for that. So the example in my case is like, I'm going to pick Tower of the Pass for Vil V, and then I'm going to randomly pick like 2 other weapons, right? Because the rules for Firepower is you can't get stuff that you already own. So you want to target what you don't have, essentially. Now, in my case, though, I'm going to wait till after I do my other pulls, because Tower of the Pass does feature in the off rate. So, like, if I get lucky from there, I might just skip Firepower altogether. Got Luna 4-4 and new 4-4 for Senti. Is there no Foca Expo? I think it starts either on Sunday night or Monday for SCA Riku. Yeah, I was surprised, Riku, when I logged in on SCA. I didn't see Foca Expo as live yet. So I would just keep an eye out for the news posts, Riku, because they could easily change things up, right? They could easily change things up. I know it's expected that SCA should get the Foca Expo, but when I was on there earlier today for the Toki stream, we did not see any of it. Yeah, Cupcake, for me, the thing that I eventually came to the conclusion was like, I just had to go faster on Diablo Kevin at the beginning. Like, whether or not the QTE hits felt less important than just like skipping the weapon active entirely on Truth in order to get the Kiana QTE right before the shield goes down so that I could push the threshold. Need some advice with spending event? You can get either 4-star Kiana or 4-star Dudu. Both are really good. Both are really good, especially if you don't have Bunny. Hey, Gabriel. Alright, Dorm. Dorm got buffed. Make sure you check your Dorm interface to see all the changes there. But we got new characters in the Dorm pool. Nyx is here. Toki off stream actually got back-to-back HOS and Nyx in 20 pulls. It was crazy. It was madness. So Fallen Rosemary also got added, but she's farmable. Oh yeah, and a bunch of characters got their War Treasury expenses changed. So, hey, I could get triple S BKE too. Hersher of the Void now only requires willpower, doesn't require legacies anymore. So I might start farming her in the near future. But I spent a bunch here because I'm so close to finishing Memento. But it's nice to be able to farm for stuff. Argent Knight finally farmable as well. From willpower. Stygian Nymph for legacies. I might do that on the side, not because I need to, but because I would like to. So this will be nice. This will be nice for a lot of players who really like these characters. Gold Witch Orb Shop also got changed too. So Dea Ancora stamps here, Dea Ancora stamps in Supply Shop. BKE stamps here. I'm still slowly chugging away at Raiden May. And then there's also bundles too. Oh, we don't get that anniversary bundle. SCA had a Valkyrie box. SCA had one that had like AE, HT, Jade Knight, and something. And that one box, like, you could get 10 stamps. So I was looking at it, I was like, hey, if we get that on Global, I could maybe get HT to Triple S. Not that that matters as much anymore. Usual rule with the bundles is like every card is essentially 280 crystals. So anytime the B chip is like, it's cost less than 280 B chips for a card is pretty good value. Now, general rules apply. You know, if you have first time double top up, it looks like these single cards are better than the first time double up top up, but if you are planning to top up, you want to look for the first time bonus on your crystals, right? This is where you kind of really you really get the good values that first time double top up. And then after you do your first time double top up, then come to the bundles here for the card bundles. And then after the card bundles, and you're like, I still don't have enough, I need more. Only then do you come back and top up for raw crystals. All right, only after you do your, so first time double up, top up, first time double top up, then you go to cards. Make sure you get your weekly and your monthly in the cyclic tab before you go to raw crystals. Raw crystals should always be your last resort. Raw crystals should be your last resort. But hopefully none of y'all will need this because we got 10 pulls free. First 10 pulls are free for Focus A this time around. So that'll be really nice. Alright, so let me start up. Do you guys want the version 7.0 BGM for the rest of this? Alright, that pretty much concludes banner review. Good luck on the gacha, all the captains that are watching this.